blue. So far, we've heard about barrels made from two types of oak: Quercus alba, American white oak, and Quercus robur, French oak. But there are more than 500 species of oak, and drinks makers are of course notoriously experimental. I've heard some are importing Japanese oak barrels at vast expense. And others are getting very excited about a variety called Chinkapin, or Quercus merlinburgi.
It's also called sweet oak because the acorns are edible. So it's a much softer, bit more sweetness to it, less of the typical vanilla that you would get from Quercus alba.
Alasdair is from the Isle of Raasay distillery in the Hebrides.
That's 14 miles long, 3 miles wide. It's actually the same size as Manhattan, but at the last census there was 161 people lived on Raasay, so quite a difference in population.
In 2017, Alasdair started distilling on Raasay. His spirit has been maturing in 3 different types of oak, including virgin Chinkapin. He sent me samples from each, fresh from the cask.
The 3 different casks are Chinkapin oak, which is a virgin oak cask, not been used for anything else before. The second type of cask we use is a Bordeaux red wine cask, and they've had 3 vintages of wine in. And then the last is Quercus alba, so North American white oak. Previously been used to mature Woodford Reserve rye, and then we filled it with our spirit.
So what's a good one to start with?
Yeah, I mean, when we do our virtual tastings, we normally start with the unpeated Chinkapin oak.
Okay, let's crack this open. So this is the one that's physically the darkest in colour of the 3. So
That's really coming from the fact that they're high char and high toast. So the char looks like crocodile skin, so it allows the spirit to get further into the wood.
Let's give it a swell.
Now, these are all cask strength, so they're all about 60% ABV, so they will all take a bit of water.
So be careful.
Straight from the cask, yeah.
Okay. It's quite in your face in terms of some of the cherry notes in there, like head in a blackberry bush.
That's right, yeah.
Kind of flavour.
And quite smooth, given the strength.
Smooth.
But I get a little bit of kind of almost crystallised ginger.
So that's whiskey number 1. So whiskey number 2, we've got the ex-Bordeaux red wine unpeated cask. So
Yes.
oh, that's very different. Lots of earthy notes with this one comparatively to the first one. So less fruity, more spicy. Oh wow, that's interesting.
Get more of the alcohol.
Absolutely.
A little bit prickly. But a sweetness comes through in that as well.
The 2 are incredibly different just already.
Yeah, so it is interesting. It's exactly the same spirit, or unpeated spirit, but you can see how it's developing quite differently in the 2 different types of oak.
Let's have a go with the third one. So this is the ex-Woodford Reserve rye unpeated cask. Okay, so let me give this one a swell. Ooh, I'm struggling to put that into words.
I think after the other ones, it's lighter. There's maybe more of the sweetness.
Yeah. It feels like more of like a bouncy, peppery spice comparatively to the second one.
Much lighter on the nose.
Yeah. If I was to taste the 3 of them and say, this is the most whiskey.
Yeah, this is the most whiskey. And I think you're right. You get that sort of black pepper first, but then it sweetens and you get the butterscotch and just a little hint of vanilla. From our point of view, we're trying to produce an excellent young single malt, but still with the complexity of depth of an older whiskey. So by bringing these 3 different profiles together, hopefully we'll get that depth of flavour and the complexity.
Alasdair from the Isle of Raasay distillery in the Hebrides. It's unusual to be given a drink that's